In today's video, I'd like to show you a reasonably simple design for a torque windmill base for a Silur. Going into this project, I had a couple goals. First was obviously to stay under 250 tiles, have it fully enclosed so that it wasn't easy to grief, as well as have it all on the same level. That said, it was pretty pricey to get foundation support on both of the corners that I've built on. By the time everything was said and done, I had fit a total of 17 torque windmills in there, and you could very well fit one more if you tweak some of the walls. Torque windmills make right around 10 torque per minute, so in this configuration you should be able to make around 170 torque per minute, which equates to about 10 to 11,000 torque per hour. As mentioned before, one of the hardest parts about building this base was getting foundation support to the two corners that do not have platforms under them. To get around this problem, I built what's most commonly called scaffolding, which is essentially just a series of interlocking walls. The first corner that I tackled wasn't too bad. I only ended up having to make a couple different rows to be able to connect all the way to the outside. But for some reason, when I went to the other corner, I was not having the same luck. What I did to get around this issue was I built 4 rows of doors that are 4 tall and 4 wide. The reason I use doors for this is if I make a mistake, I can move in and out to correct it pretty easy. To complete the scaffolding, I linked every single one of the doors using walls with windows, just so that I could see through in case I missed something. Because I was still trying to figure out the design of this base, I built all of my interior and exterior walls straight vertical. The problem with this is that I had to then go back and delete all of my walls and create walls that angled outwards just so slightly to fit the torque windmills side by side. I found that when I was trying to complete the top layer of the wall, I couldn't seem to get foundation support on the furthest points of the corner. All I did to get around this was to make the top layer of the wall a roof tile that had been angled up from the inside. One of the last things that I did to secure this base was on any corner where there was a large gap, I deleted one side of the corner and then angled the edge of the tile inwards just enough to close the gap. For this design, every single wall has been angled outwards to some degree or another, with the exception of the ones that the doors are on. By the time the main structure was done, I was sitting around 240 tiles, so I decided to throw an airlock on either side just to be safe. But if you wanted to, you could probably use those extra tiles to get maybe 1, max 2 more windmills in. That pretty much wraps it up for this video. Hopefully this has given you a decent idea of what kind of designs you can make for a torque windmill base on a Silur. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and if there's anything else you would have done differently or you'd like to see built, throw that down in the comments and I'll get back to you.